Ladies and people who are trying to give up their vices, Andy here, author of the best Tinder guide on the internet and fellow vice giver upperer. This is the Kill You in a Loser show. Let's fucking go. So, for a little bit of context, exactly 9 months ago, I sat down and I did a video saying I want to give up porn, I want to give up alcohol. I had already not been drinking at that point for about a year, but I said I want to go another year. I want to go a year without video games, and I want to go a year without caffeine. That was kind of the idea 9 months ago. And I'm sitting down to do a 9-month update now. And you can see by the title of this video, I procrastinated doing this. And I had a big, long conversation with Imi about this yesterday, about like sitting down and what I was going to talk to you guys about. And you're probably thinking like, oh, he must have relapsed in porn. Like, oh, he's drinking again, poor guy, blah, blah, blah. Not poor me, but you know what I mean. No, I haven't looked at porn since the last 3 months, the last update 3 months ago. I haven't drunk alcohol since the update 3 months ago. I haven't played video games. I have been drinking caffeine, but like that wasn't really the vice that I cared the most about. That was kind of just like, I'll throw that in there too. Maybe I'll give up caffeine as well. So I'm not bothered by that. But the reason I procrastinated sitting down was because I was like, I don't have anything to say. Like she said, Imogen said, has anything changed in the last 3 months? You're now 6 months, or it's like 5 and a bit months, 5 months without porn. That's an extra 3 months. Like, has anything changed? Do you feel different? Like, do you have any extra advice to give to people? Do you have any updates? Do you have anything? And I was like, not really. Like, nothing. She's like, well, what about the alcohol? No, not really. Like, the video games? No, not really. Like, and so I thought I would twist this into a conversation about accountability. And the reason why I'm sitting down here with you guys today and basically saying, hey, I don't really have much of an update, is because those times when you don't have much to say, or you don't have much of an update, or you feel like nothing's like, what am I just going to say? Like, hey guys, everything's the same, everything's great, like nothing's changed. Those are the times you most need to keep yourself accountable. So in my coaching program, for those of you who don't know how it works, there's a Facebook group included in part of the coaching. And what I tell people to do is post in there every fucking day, even if you have nothing to say. It doesn't matter if you have nothing to say, post anyway. Literally make a post saying, I have nothing to say today. Today was okay. Today was pretty good. I worked on some stuff. Literally post that every single day. Because what you are doing is you are building a habit of keeping yourself accountable. And so on the days where something does go wrong, or the day where you're not feeling great or you're struggling, it's easier for you to post because you've been doing it every day anyway. You don't have to like build up this courage to go, okay, I got to post and say like I haven't been working on my goals or I'm really depressed. No, it doesn't take any energy because you've been posting every day. And on the days when things are good, it's easier for you to post and celebrate those victories because you're posting every day. One of the biggest, and I tell everyone who joins my coaching program this, one of the biggest indicators of success is a person who posts every single day. Like if you want me to pick who I think is going to have an epic, amazing, brilliant life, it's the person that posts in the group every single day. Those of you on my forums, it's the people who post on my forums every single day. If you keep yourself accountable by building a habit, even if you just take 5 minutes a day to say like, hey, nothing much happened today. It was a pretty good day. I'm a bit tired. I'm going to go to bed early and tomorrow will be better. Like, good. Post that. Again, the single biggest indicator of people who are going to be successful is those who post every single day. Because again, you're keeping yourself accountable. And so I knew I was obviously going to sit down and record this. And I say procrastinating. I didn't really procrastinate. I was supposed to film this today, but it's more that like I laid on the couch for like 2 hours this morning and I was like, I don't even know what to fucking say. And I spent half of yesterday talking to Imogen and saying, what am I even going to say tomorrow? There's nothing to say. Yeah, I went another 3 months without porn. It's like everything that I had to say about quitting porn and how much that's helped my, productivity in my relationship. And it's been genuinely life-changing. I said it on the previous video. I don't really want to jump in here and like reiterate what I said. I mean, I guess I can. The relationship is amazing. I have more time. I have more energy. Go back and watch the previous video. I'll leave a link in the description below, but go back and watch that one. Like watching that, there's then no point in me going over the same thing. But, as she said, yeah, but you're going to be accountable anyway. So, like, you're going to make the post anyway. I was like, I know I'm going to make the video anyway. And maybe I can twist it into this discussion of how important it is to have accountability, to keep yourself accountable, especially when we're talking about giving up a vice. Those of you who say, you know what, I think I look at too much porn, I want to look at less, or I want to fucking not look at it at all. Maybe I'll go 6 months, maybe a month, maybe I'll just see how I feel without porn, without jerking off, or, without video games or without YouTube. Some of you have a smartphone addiction. I know I do too. I had to strip my smartphone down, take all the apps off it, turn it onto grayscale. Like, my phone is fucking, I can probably just show you on the screen. My phone is, how do I not dox myself? Okay, you can look at my apps. There you go. It's like just completely grayscale. By changing your phone to like grayscale, oh my god, it makes it like so much less fun to look at. You actually use it less. So that's a fucking cheat code for you. Delete all the apps and, all the turn all the notifications off. That's another one. Leave your phone at home, blah, blah, blah. But those of you who are giving up a vice, it is so much easier if you have accountability. And I see so many of you say like, man, I keep relapsing on porn. And I'm like, oh, who's your accountability partner? Or are you posting every day in some, like on my forums or in my fucking coaching program? And they go, oh no, that's why you fucking relapsed. Who are you holding yourself accountable to? So any of you right now who are trying to give up something, or who are in the process of giving up something, or working through something, or letting go of something, or building better habits, even building habits. We're not just talking about giving up your vices, but building habits. If you don't have an accountability like partner or forum or group or Telegram group or WhatsApp group, something, or friends, just tell a couple of your fucking friends. One of the wisest things I did when I, 9 months ago when I said I'm giving up porn, caffeine, video games, and alcohol. Again, I had already been a year sober from alcohol, but, I'm going to go another year. One of the wisest things I did when I decided to do that was I told like everyone I could think of. I told like all my fucking friends. I told all of you guys. I put this huge fucking video out. I told my coaching program, like in my Facebook group, I said, guys, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a video on my YouTube channel about this, but I'm telling you guys first. I told all my friends, like I said, told my family, telling as many people as you possibly can, and then keeping yourself accountable to them, because it's not their job to follow up and say, how's your, no alcohol going? Like, they have their own shit to do. It's up to you to check in with them once a week, once a month, whatever you want to do, and say like, hey, 2 weeks clean from alcohol. One of my best mates, he gave up porn a little bit before me, probably like 2 weeks before me. And that gave me the courage to do it too. But the point that I'm getting to is when he started giving it up, for the first 3 months, every single week, he'd be like, another week down. That's like 6 weeks of no porn, 7 weeks of no porn, 8 weeks of no porn, 9 weeks of no porn. He would tell me constantly. I did the same with him, a year and 9 months ago when I gave up alcohol. I was like, bro, can I text you like every day? And he's like, yeah, dude, of course you can. And so I'd literally be like, another day I didn't drink today, didn't drink today, didn't drink today, didn't drink today. Yay, that's a week. 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. I just kept sort of counting. And each time, he didn't need to say much. He's just like, good job. Or sometimes he'd be like, how do you feel? Or other times he'd be like, that's impressive, man, keep going. Like, he didn't need to say anything. But keeping yourself accountable to other people, those of you who are trying to give something up or build a new habit and it's not quite working out for you, 9 times out of 10 when I say to you, how many people do you have keeping you accountable? You're like, 1 or none. And I say, are you checking in with that person every day or every week or every month, like whatever you want to do? Or in my case, now it's like every 3 months I will sit down and do one of these. And they'll say no. So any of you trying to give something up or build a new habit, please get some sort of accountability. I'm happy to fucking do that. You guys know where my coaching is. I'll leave a link in the description. Do it on my forums. Tell all your friends. Tell your family. Make some sort of WhatsApp group or Telegram group. Go and find a group. If you don't want my coaching program, there's plenty of other coaching programs. There's plenty of other coaching programs that include some sort of accountability, which is what my coaching program is. You got the Facebook group, you got me, obviously. But find one that has an accountability. Don't just, I would never recommend you guys, and this is just a general idea, if you're doing coaching, unless you're going to pay for a one-off call just to pick someone's brain and figure some stuff out, that's fine. But if you're ever doing a coaching program, a 6-week program, a 12-week program, a year, whatever it is, make sure it has an accountability group, some sort of group, like a Facebook group or a Discord or like a Slack group or just a fucking email list, like something where you can communicate with the other people. And if it doesn't, like, yeah, don't do it as like a long-term program. Just do a one-off coaching call with that person. But accountability groups, most group coaching programs or one-on-one coaching programs, you'll see have some sort of accountability attached to them, like in a group, for a fucking reason, because it works. And so any of you who are trying to give up your vices, find some sort of accountability. Don't do this shit on your own. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. There isn't anything ultra exciting here, and that's kind of the point. I'm going to do another one of these in a year from now. In 3 months from now, which will be the end of the year. That one's definitely going to be more exciting. I'm going to have a whole lot more to talk about in that one because it's going to be like a year. That will be 2 years of not drinking. And at this point, I can't fully predict the future, but I'm not going to relapse. Like, that's not even a discussion at this point. And you guys will find when you go like 9 months without doing something, it becomes a whole lot easier. And the porn has only been 5 months because, I relapsed a ton at the start. So 5 months of no porn at this point. It's not even, I guess I can give you guys an update. It's not even, doesn't even enter my brain anymore, which is weird. And so, we've been shooting content with some of the girls that we're sleeping with, like doing videos, doing photos, which is really fucking fun. And years ago, I thought, man, I'll never be able to do that because it will be too like triggering for me. Like recording photos, even like the BDSM artwork, like the artistic, artsy photos that we do. Even that used to be triggering because I would do that or I would see that. And then my brain would go like, I should go look at other girls who are doing this. And then I would just go straight to porn. And it's been really nice to just be able to like film and video the sex that we have and the photos that we take and, do some artsy lingerie shots and all that stuff and not get triggered by that. It's been nice to just go like, this is a fun expression of sex. It's not porn. Like, what I mean by that is it feels like I've separated in my brain sexuality from porn. Whereas in the past, those two things were like tied together. And so there were times where I would have sex with girls, including my own fucking girlfriend, and not come, like intentionally not come, so that when they left, I could jerk off to porn. There were times like where porn was more enticing than the women that I was sleeping with. There are a lot of those times because I was so fucking addicted to porn. And especially like shooting videos and photos and stuff of the sex that we have. In the past, that was like, I couldn't do that without getting triggered. Like, so I didn't even try. And it feels nice to be able to express that sexual side and the artsy side without then going like, oh, so I got to go and jerk my dick and do something I don't want to do. It feels like I'm in control of it, if that makes sense. I personally am not going to do this, next thing I'm about to say myself, at least not anytime soon, but I know a couple of friends who were alcoholics and have, gone through the whole, like, okay, I'm going to have a bit of time sober, and then they get to a point where they're like, I'm just going to have one drink a week, and they do for the rest of their life. And they say it feels nice to be able to have some control over how much alcohol I drink. I personally am not going to do that in the next, I don't know. I can see myself drinking a bit and then going like, yeah, I like alcohol so much, let me have more. And then before I know it, I'm drinking like every fucking day again. So I'm going to leave it until I'm in a place where I think maybe I can have alcohol. And if I can never sit there and say, I think I can control it, then I'm not even going to bother like trying. Like, I don't, what's the point? So I might never drink again. I might drink again. I don't know. But at least with sex, it feels like I can, I'm not saying watch porn because it's like I'm making it, you know what I mean? And I feel like I can watch sexuality, my own sexuality and the photos and the videos and stuff that we do. I feel like I can watch that without it devolving into me watching porn and going spiraling and all of that kind of stuff. In the same way that some alcoholics can then drink once a week. And so it feels fucking nice. It feels nice to just make something and go, that was really fun, and then like turn it off. Like make some videos, edit the videos, make some photos, put them on my website, and then go like, done. That's it. Now I can go to the fucking supermarket and have a sandwich. Now I can go for a walk. Whereas before, when I would do that stuff, and again, even when I would have sex with girls, I would then go into this like spiral and this dark hole, and like for the next day or two, I would just be either watching porn or jerking off to porn or trying not to watch it and resisting it and then eventually giving in a couple of days later. It felt like it was always on my brain. And sex itself triggered my porn addiction. Like literally just having sex with women triggered that. And so it feels really nice to like I said, like dissociate, like separate the two, like the sexuality and all of the beauty and the fun and the enjoyment and the love and the intimacy that comes with that. And then over here is like spiraling into porn. And it's like this, no, we close that off. We push that up. You know, we're not going to do that. Now we just get to have the fun stuff. And that feels really nice. It genuinely feels really nice. I guess on that note, you know, if any of you listening are struggling with porn and addiction, I'm trying to say this how do I say this? Like, I think I do a pretty reasonable job on my website of not putting too much shit that's triggering. You know what I mean? If you're someone that's trying to give it up. Because if you pay attention, at the top of every article that has nude pictures or videos in it, I have a little disclaimer at the top that says not safe for work. You know, there's nudity in here. And so, you know, you guys are adults. You don't need me to baby you, but if you are triggered by this, if you're currently in the middle of giving up porn and stuff, just avoid those not safe for work articles. That's probably the easiest, the best advice. You're a fucking adult. You can give it up yourself. It's, you know, it's not up to me to baby you guys, but yeah, just throwing that out there, that whatever. Anyway, no porn, no alcohol, no video games. I actually really miss video games. I'll do the caffeine one first. So caffeine, I've obviously been having plenty of caffeine. I think I gave up on that one. I was like, I don't really care about giving up caffeine. Like, I want to give it up eventually because I'm less productive, because I crash. Like, I will get really fucking high and then I just dump, and I will waste hours being, you know, just crashed on caffeine. But even during those hours, I get so much shit done because I'm good at, you know, baby steps and just going like, I feel like shit, but who cares? I'm going to keep going. All of that said, I will definitely give up caffeine at some point. I think it's just that I didn't care as much as the other three. And giving up 3 addictions at once, you can technically say I've also given up binge eating. That's something I used to struggle with a lot. Maybe I can talk about that on a separate video or something if you guys want me to, you know, shoot me a message or whatever. Probably shoot me an email if you want me to, because I read emails, but I don't always read the YouTube comments. So send me an email if you want me to do it. You know, if I get a couple of emails from people, you know, I'll jump on and do some content on binge eating. But so I've given up like 4 vices this year. So I'm not too bummed about the caffeine, but it is kind of in my mind. I'm like, I do definitely want to like give that up at some point. I'm not throwing in the towel and saying like, I don't care about caffeine. It doesn't even affect me, bro. I don't even care. I'm just tired for like 3 hours a day, bro. I don't even care. It's like, that's a lot of time that I'm losing to just crashing on caffeine several times a week. So I definitely will give that up. Maybe I'll tackle it at the end of the 12 months. Which will be October. So maybe in October, I'll set, okay, for the next year, I want to have no caffeine for the whole year. Let's do that. So video games. I'm actually really fucking looking forward to video games again. So, you know, for backstory, for the longest time of building up my coaching and this, you know, YouTube channel and, you know, all the other shit that I'm building up, I couldn't pay the bills. I've talked about this many, many, many times. Imogen and I had literally years of sleepless nights struggling to pay the bills. Like, I didn't just get to a point where we had, you know, that $50,000 month. That didn't just like happen immediately. That was like 2 years in the making, 2.5 years, maybe 3 years. And so for a long time, we didn't have any fucking money. I certainly couldn't spend money on video games and shit, right? And something that's very meaningful to me is the Half-Life games. Those of you who haven't played them, go and play them. They're fucking amazing. Actually, do whatever you want. You don't have to play fucking video games because I told you to. Half-Life 1, Half-Life 2 really genuinely changed my life. The DLC changed my life too, and I'm sitting there waiting for Half-Life 3, and, you know, I know that I'm not supposed... Every time you mention Half-Life 3, Valve delays the game by a year. That's the fucking meme. People have been waiting for Half-Life 3 for, like, the last fucking 20 years or whatever. It's never coming out, but then they released the game Half-Life Alyx, which is sort of like the Half-Life 3, and I'm like, oh my fucking god. And... That released like, 3 fucking years ago. Those of you who've played it, please don't spoil it. Those of you who've played it, I actually know nothing. I've managed to stay spoiler-free from fucking Half-Life Alyx for like 3 years. And I have wanted to play this fucking game, but I couldn't afford I could have bought the cheap headsets and shit, but we just didn't have any fucking money, right? And when we finally get to the point where we're starting to have some money is when I say I'm giving up video games for a year. And so, you know, I say to Imogen, like, God damn it, all right, let's just... You know, at the end of this fucking year, which is like coming up soon, so October of this year, I said, I'm going to sit down, we're going to buy Half-Life Alyx, and you and I are just going to fucking binge play this bitch together. Like, we're just going to play this fucking thing. We're going to buy some other VA games like Boneworks. What's the other one that we wanted to play? Superhot VR. Yeah, and we just want to fucking binge play those, but especially Half-Life Alyx. And so I am so looking forward to that. Holy shit, I am looking forward to that like you guys would not believe. That feels like a decent reward for like a year of no alcohol, no video games, no porn. Obviously, I didn't go the full year without porn, but by the time that will be like 8 months clean from porn at that point, I'm just going to smash the shit out of Half-Life Alyx. Like, oh my fucking God. Imogen is too. Oh, we're going to go crazy with that. And then after that, I probably will go. I'm not someone that wants to play a lot of video games anyway. I'm very capable of getting addicted to them, especially games that can be played for infinite hours. Like something like Half-Life Alyx is fine because you play it once, maybe twice, and you're good. Maybe play it 3 times, you're done. But the infinite time games like Dota, Counter-Strike, World of Warcraft, all the games where there's infinite hours that you can play them, like Call of Duty, stuff like that, where you can, like online games, you can just keep playing forever. Those, yeah, I can't play them. I don't think I'll probably ever play them again, and I fucking love some of them. I love Counter-Strike. Holy shit, I love Dota too. But I think if I play them, I just get addicted. So, yeah, I'm not going to play them. Those of you who love video games, fucking, I'm happy for you. There's some of my clients who can play for like a couple of hours a week, and I'm like, fucking great. And they will ask me like, Andy, you've given up video games. Do you think I should too? And I get this question from you guys a lot. Andy, should I give up alcohol too? Should I give up video games? Because you have is this eating into my productivity time? What I will say to you is be very self-aware and self-honest with yourself and say, how much time am I spending on this thing? Like go through the whole week and almost keep a journal or a diary of how long you're playing that thing or how many hours you aren't being productive and successful with if you're drinking alcohol. How much time does caffeine take away versus how much time it gives? Write down a pros and cons list, basically. And for some of you, it'll be very apparent. It's like, no, if I drink alcohol, I'm literally a train wreck for the entire fucking weekend and then Monday as well. And then I have to kind of make up for it on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but then I fuck it all up again. Yeah, maybe alcohol, come away from it a little bit. Maybe say I'm just going to drink it once a week, maybe twice. Maybe I won't drink as much. Maybe I can still drink 4 times, but I will just have 2 drinks when I do it. Like 2 cocktails or 3 beers, like just a little bit to get fucking reasonably lit up, but not like crazy. I won't get blackout fucking crazy drunk, which I wouldn't recommend any of you do it anyway. Maybe video games you only spend 5 hours a week. You're like, yeah, whatever. Fucking it helps me relax after work. I feel good. I like it. Maybe one day I'll do it less, but right now it's not massively affecting my life. So do a pros and cons list or work out how much time you're sinking into it. And for me, video games, it got to a point where I should say, if I install video games, and I've done this in the past, if I play Dota, I could just play for 8 hours straight. And then I'm like, I've lost the fucking day. Porn was obviously the same. I would look at it every day for hours a day. Or if I didn't look at it, it would be on my brain. And so I'm still looking at it in my fucking mind, or I'm thinking about looking at it. So porn for me was like, nah, that's gotta fucking go. And again, maybe there's a world one day in many years where I can look at porn once a week and jerk off. I know tons of my friends are like that. Tons of you guys will be like that. It's like some of my coaching clients have even said, I'm like, how often do you look at porn? And they're like, I just jerk off once every 2 weeks, maybe once a week. And I'm like, how long are you looking at it for when you do that? And they're like, oh, fucking half an hour, maybe 20 minutes. Sometimes I'll just find one video I like and jerk off and I'm done. And I'm like, holy shit, that just was not me, man. That's fucking cool that you can do that. So, I'm not anti-porn. In fact, let's be clear, I'm technically making porn, aren't I? When I film the sex that I have with girls, when I video it, I'm a porn fucking producer, but I'm not anti-porn. I'm never going to be one to say oh, porn is bad for me, so therefore you guys shouldn't do it either. It's like, no, do whatever's healthy for you. One thing that I think is pretty healthy in my life, and I'm going to cut down on it, this will be my mission for next year, do less of it, but I'm happy with how much I do. That sounded like a contradictory statement, didn't it? It doesn't massively ruin my fucking life. Look at all the shit that I've done. YouTube. So I watch a lot of YouTube. I probably watch 2 hours of YouTube a day. And would I be more productive without that YouTube? Yeah. But look at all the shit that I've gotten done with that YouTube. I have used YouTube as a reward. So what I do is I bust my goals And then when I have, like, I bust ass with my goals, and then when it's lunchtime, I'll watch YouTube for 20 minutes while I eat some food. Great. Go back to work, bust ass in the evening, like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Okay, I'll watch YouTube for an hour and a half and I'll just chill. I will clean the house while I watch stuff. Like, I'll have it on my phone and I'll just be like looking at it like this while I walk around, like cleaning up, while I make my food, while I do whatever I'm doing, or I'll have a podcast in the background or something like that. And I've been pretty fucking effective with YouTube. I want to experiment, like I said, next year with less. So I'm not going to completely eliminate, because holy shit, I love YouTube. Obviously, I am on YouTube right now. So I'm not going to do none of it, but I'm going to experiment with less. And that's a decent example of someone who, YouTube helps me, if anything. Or it certainly doesn't hinder me as much as porn, alcohol, video games if I play them too much, maybe even caffeine. YouTube seems to have a decent place in my life. And for some of you, porn is like that. You're like, yeah, bro, like, if I get home on a Friday night, it's been a big week, I crushed it at work, I worked on my goals, I'll jack off, watch a bit of porn, jack off, go to bed, Sunday, Saturday, go hang out with my mates, go talk to girls. It seems to, like, just be in your life. Now, would your life be better if you didn't do it? It's like, maybe, like, hard to say, probably. But are we going to sit there and remove every single thing that gives us joy and just become like fucking Spartans? And it's like, well, technically, ready-made meals that I heat up in the microwave, those, are not as good as going out and hunting a fucking cow, because that's ultra masculine, just stabbing a fucking deer in the face and then cutting it up and eating it raw. Like, technically I'm just giving into comfort if I, eat food from the grocery store. I don't think, or at least my mission isn't to remove every single thing that gives me joy. It's about maximizing my joy, maximizing my happiness. And so maybe that's a decent way you guys can tell, is this thing helping or hindering me? Like video games. Do I get more joy or more happiness overall? Not while I'm playing them. I'm saying like across the whole of your life. Because in the moment, yes, in the moment, I would tell you that porn is the most amazing, joyful thing of all time. As soon as I finish, I'm like, oh my fucking God, I wish I didn't do that. So overall, is the video game thing or whatever it is we're talking about, are video games adding to your life and bringing you joy? We're trying to maximize joy. I just kicked the camera. We're trying to maximize joy and happiness here, right? And so ask yourself, am I happy overall if I watch video games or if I play video games or watch porn or watch video games? I watch a lot of games on YouTube, occasionally Twitch. I'm a little watcher of Let's Plays. Is alcohol adding to my life or taking away? Does it make me happier overall? Like maybe if you have a couple of drinks, on the weekend with your mates, it helps you unwind, relax, you actually enjoy yourself, you're really happy. Like fucking great. Keep that up in your life. Maybe you decide, no, I think it actually does take away from my happiness. Life isn't, I think some of you get twisted up and you think that productivity is the only metric that matters, or it's your main metric. It's like, we're not trying to maximize productivity. That's ass backwards. That's putting the cart before the horse. Why do you maximize productivity? So that you can get more done, so that you can become a better person, so that you can improve yourself and build an epic life and get rich and all of the shit that you guys want. Why are you doing that? Stop and ask yourself, why am I doing all that? To be happy. So why don't you put happiness first instead of trying to get it through a roundabout, like, different means? Like, just go straight to the source. Go straight to happiness. Maximize happiness. So in every moment, maximize happiness. Now, you have to consider long-term happiness versus short-term happiness. If we just maxed out short-term happiness, it would be like I would go bingy and drink alcohol and play video games right now. And I would text all of my coaching clients. I got 2 coaching clients to sit down with today. I would text them and be like, sorry, bro. I'm busy jerking off and watching porn, bro. I can't fix your life. I'm sorry, dude. And plus, you don't get your money back because I need it, dude. And I want it. I don't need it, but I want it. That would maximize my happiness in the short term, in the immediate. Long term, no. My coaching clients are going to hate me. I'm going to feel like a shithead for disappointing people. What I want is to help people build an amazing life, and canceling on coaching calls doesn't really help with that goal, does it? Drinking alcohol makes me like, fuck sakes, man. I went like a year and 9 months without alcohol, and now I'm just like throwing that, like, what the fuck? That doesn't make me very happy. Looking at porn doesn't make me happy long term. So maximize your medium and long-term happiness. Maybe I'd say that. And then in the moment, sure, have a little bit of short-term happiness, but as long as it doesn't conflict with your long and medium-term happiness. So maximize happiness, and that's kind of how you know, do I want to give up this vice? Do I want to keep it in my life? Is it even affecting me negatively, or am I happy with it? basically ask yourself on the scale of like a month or 6 months, or on the scale of my life, am I happy that I drink? Maybe on the scale of like this month. Was I happy with how much I drank this month? Was I happy with how many video games I played this month, or how much time I spent playing video games? Was I happy with how much food I ate? Was I happy with how much time I went to the gym? If you're not happy with it, then we change it. Just tweak something, change it. So maximize happiness, not productivity. Productivity doesn't fucking matter. Okay, it's not that it doesn't fucking matter. It's not the main thing that we're trying to maximize. It is a way to get happiness. If you're more productive, most of you know I will be happier. So sure, maxing out your productivity definitely makes you happier, but don't max it out at the cost of your happiness is what I'm trying to say. So if alcohol or food or video games or fucking YouTube or even porn or sex or whatever it is, if that is genuinely making you happy over a longer period of time with the amount you're doing it, keep it in your life. Or another way of saying that is, if cutting it out would not make you happier, but it would make you more productive but not happier, then you don't have to do that. Like again, if I cut YouTube out right now, there's a case to be made that I'm more productive. However, I am not happier. And what happens when we're less happy? We get less work done. We don't do as good a job. So I'll probably just go and find some other vice or some other thing to give me happiness, which will then take up as much time as YouTube was. And so sometimes when we're maxing out productivity, we actually shoot ourselves in the foot and become less productive. I've seen so many of my coaching clients do this, especially where they'll say, I want to work on my goals 7 days a week. And I'll be like, no, I told you, like, I tell you this, you guys, this for a reason. Work on your shit for 6 days a week and have 1 day off. Every week, have 1 day off where you do nothing productive. Now, I'm not saying go and binge eat and drink alcohol and watch porn. Like, go for a walk, hang out with your friends, go and do some new adventures. That stuff's still productive because you're building your mental health and your inner peace and your happiness. But, I just mean have 1 day where maybe you don't do any podcasts in my case, or you don't hit on any girls. Or maybe you just hit on one girl and then you relax for the rest of the day. Have 1 day off where you go and do some fun shit, some good shit, some shit to recharge your batteries, read some books, meditate, go out for walks, hang out with your friends, go on new adventures, go on a road trip, like stuff like that. Get out of the house. I'm not saying stay in the house and fucking just play video games all day. Have 1 day off a week. And the coaching clients of mine who don't listen to that when I tell them to do that, which is very few, my coaching clients are generally, you guys who sign up for coaching are fucking amazing. You're obviously putting down a fair chunk of money, and so you're going to do what I suggest. But, every now and then I'll get someone who doesn't do it, who goes, no, like, I can be more productive. I'm going to not heed Andy's warning, and I can be more productive if I just go 7 days a week. They burn out. Every single one of them fucking burns out. And because they're not having that day off, they don't get a chance to step back and say, is what I'm doing actually productive? When you have a day off a week, or a couple of hours free every night where you meditate, or some time to go and, watch some fucking YouTube or play some video games, like in a healthy way, a little bit of time to chill, basically. When you have that time, you get a chance to step back from your goals for just a minute. And sometimes you'll step back and go like, fuck, man, I think I've been wasting time. Like, I don't think I've actually been all that productive with what I'm doing. I thought I was being productive, but I was so focused and hyper-focused on what I was doing that I didn't step back and say, like, am I just wasting my time here? Am I actually getting the results I want? And so giving yourself that 1 day off a week to step back, 9 times out of 10, you will tweak something or change something or improve something. I do this every week. It's why I have 1 day off a week with Imogen, and we go for a big walk and we do our accountability check-in. If you don't know what that is, once a week, I recommend that you guys have an accountability partner, and you will check in with them and say, have I done what I said I was going to do this week? What do I want to do next week? What can I improve? What can you improve? What have you done? You kind of talk to each other and go through, like, keep each other accountable with your goals and your life and your mental health and your happiness and all of that kind of shit. When I do that with Imogen, almost every fucking week, I will go like, man, I think this week I could have done this and this and this way better. Next week, I'm going to do an even better job. That's the point of the accountability check-in, is to be like gradually improving over time. Not just to keep yourself accountable, but to improve the process. You can't do that if you're working 7 days a week, if you're grinding 7 days a week. You never step back and say, am I being a dumbass? And then when you finally do step back, sometimes months or years later, maybe you get sick and you literally can't work and you are bedridden and you are forced to take a step back and see if what you're doing is working. You step back and you go, oh my fucking God, I've been wasting the last like 6 months. What the fuck? I thought I was being productive, but I'm not. But no one ever told me and I didn't tell myself because I didn't step back. So I want to make something clear that a little bit of leisure time or a little bit of fun time, as long as it's healthy and you are ultimately the person that will say if it's healthy, not anyone else. Like, again, I can't have porn in my life right now. Plenty of you guys can. So for me, porn isn't healthy. For you, it is. So it's an individual thing. You get what I'm saying? So take a step back once a week. Have at least one day off a week where you go outside, you do some cool shit. You're not grinding on your self-improvement. You're just having fun and working on your mental health. If anything, you're still improving because you're improving your mental health, aren't you? When you have a day off a week, you're improving your mental health. And you will find that you are more productive. Way more productive because you step back. So the same thing with things like drinking. If drinking is something that's healthy in your life and maybe twice a week you go out drinking with your buddies, while you're drinking, you're having fun, you're chilling, you're not thinking as much about your self-improvement. Maybe a little bit, but you're not grinding, you're not ultra serious, you're relaxing. And in that relaxation, you can go, you know what, man? Life is pretty fucking sweet. This is fun. I'm enjoying myself. Maybe I don't need to take my goals so seriously. I'm still going to work on them, but I don't have to get so fucking uptight and upset when things don't work out. I don't have to cry like, get really upset if a girl doesn't sleep with me. Because, like, whatever, man. Life is fun. I'm here with my buddies. I'm drinking. So you can see how alcohol, if it's in a healthy way, can be adding to your life. Same with video games. Maybe you chill with your boys and you play some Call of Duty or you play Battlefield or whatever bullshit you kids are playing these days. What is it? Battlefield fucking... There's a new one, isn't there? Came out like a few months ago. It looks pretty cool. You're playing fucking... What's a meme game that I can say? You're playing Fall Guys with your friends. I feel like that's dead at this point. And you're having fun. You're chilling. You do that a couple of times a week. And in those moments, you go, man, life is worth living. Life is fun. Why would you ever take that away from yourself in the pursuit of being like more productive? You're taking away happiness for productivity. So this is a balance. You can see that there's no hard and fast rules with this. With most things in life, there aren't really rules anyway. Most rules are just stories and bullshit and limiting beliefs. But with this, yeah, it's definitely an individual thing. And please don't put pressure on yourself, guys, to be perfect with this. Like, how long did it take me to figure out, like, oh, maybe I don't want porn in my life? That took me like 34 years, right? I've been addicted since I was like 15. And you guys probably aren't going to go 20 years before you realize, like, oh, I want to give porn up or give my vices up. But my point is, like, look at all the stuff that I've done. Look at all the stuff I've achieved. Like, and yeah, I still got a ton of room for improvement, a ton of things I want to do. Like, we're barely getting started here, but like, I've done a decent job so far. Like, I've done a pretty decent job so far with my goals, right? And that has been while having a porn addiction, a really bad porn addiction, like really fucking intense, like hours and hours and hours a day, every day. Alcoholism, like in 2020 and 2021, I was drinking every day, like literally every day. Caffeine addiction, video game addiction, fucking YouTube, watching that for a couple of hours a day, fuck me, man. Like, so many different things that are like taking up time and making me less productive. But look at all that I achieved. This is why I say to you guys, you don't have to be some god to do any of this. You don't. You just have to do a little bit every day. And I see so many of you being less productive because you spend so much of your time beating yourself up for your vices that you don't actually also go and do something productive. You spend the time you would have been productive circle jerking yourself over how bad a person you are for playing video games or watching porn. And you waste hours a day beating yourself up because you had a drink or you drank too much last night or you binge ate a week ago or, you didn't stick to your fucking diet or you skipped the gym because you were feeling lazy or whatever. Like, you beat yourself up for hours. The difference is I had all the same vices that you guys have, and I still have a couple. I wasted as much time on those vices as you guys waste. Maybe more. I mean, fuck, there were many days I spent 8 hours watching porn. My dick wouldn't even work. I literally wasn't even erect. I'm just watching it because as soon as I finish watching it, I know I'm going to hate myself. And so maybe if I just stay watching porn forever, I can just never come out of the spiral. And then, finally you do fucking come out and you're like, fuck's sakes, I wasted 8 hours. The day's gone. When I woke up, it was like the sun was rising and now the sun's fucking gone down. What have I just done? I had so many days like that. I wasted the same amount and I still waste the same amount of time that you guys waste. Okay, I waste a little less now, but I'm still losing like 3 hours a day. Losing 3 hours a day on like YouTube and, just doing nothing really, laying on the couch. I don't even see it as a waste anymore. That's the point. I'm not beating myself up for it. I enjoy it. Not only are you spending time on, things that aren't productive, so to speak, but you're then not enjoying that time, and then you're spending the time afterwards beating yourself up. Again, the biggest difference between me and all of you guys, or those of you who haven't made it to, achieve the goals you want to achieve, is I would waste the same amount of time as you guys, but then the second it was finished, I'd beat myself up for like 20 minutes, and then I go, no, fuck this. I'm not going to keep wasting time. I need to go outside and talk to a girl. I need to go for a walk so I can keep losing weight. I need to go to a meetup group or meet some friends or start socializing so I can build that. I need to go to the fucking gym right now. And I would make myself be productive, even though I didn't want to. I wanted to sit there and wallow in self-pity and go like, oh my God, I feel so bad for myself. Like I'm such a piece of shit. Oh my God, I'm going to jerk myself off over how much of a piece of shit I am. Like, no, I didn't do that shit. Or I would do it for like 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, and then say, no, fuck this. I'm not going to have a pity party for myself, or I'm not going to hate myself and beat myself up. How does that help? That's now more time that I'm going to waste. It makes me more likely to want to self-medicate because I'm beating myself up so much. It hurts. How do I fix that? Oh, let me grab porn again. Let me grab video games again. Let me grab alcohol again. Let me binge eat again to deal with me beating myself up. And then you keep fucking spiraling and cycling, and it's a loop. You guys, like, I really want to make this clear. I still have a couple. I had as many vices for the last like 5-6 years as you guys have. I wasted as much time as you guys. I just then didn't beat myself up afterwards. So another way of saying that is I was really unproductive. I was really addicted to several things. I spent so much time on those addictions, and then I was also taking action. The one difference between me and all of you who haven't achieved your goals, and you blame your vices, the one difference is that I take action as well. So I do all the same shit, have as many vices, again, less now, but I had as many vices. We're talking for 5 or 6 years of my self-improvement. For the vast majority of everything you've seen me achieve, I had as many vices as you guys. I spent as much time on them, maybe more. I would then also take action. So it's that taking action thing that matters. And I say this to half of my clients where they're like, man, I'm wasting like 3 hours a day on YouTube. Like, should I stop? And I'm like, I mean, sure, cut it down if you want to, but like, just go take action. Like, we're not here to talk about what you're not doing. I don't care if you watch YouTube or don't. I care, did you talk to a girl today? I care, did you work on your business today? Did you reach out to some potential clients and get the ball rolling? Did you sit down with your staff members and have a meeting and say, listen, guys, we're going forward. We're going to improve this company. We're going to do a great job. We're going to make a fuck ton of money. Like, did you have a like motivational meeting with them? You know what I mean? Did you go out to the gym and crush it? Did you go for a walk? Did you lose some weight? Did you do that shit? I don't care. Why are we talking about YouTube? What has YouTube got to do with your goals? You're getting distracted by talking about devices. Like, that's porn and video games and shit over there. The real shit is like, did you actually take action? Are you here to work on your goals? So, yes, cutting out your vices, which that's the point of this video, me cutting down on my vices. Yes, that helps. But everything I achieved was with vices. And so, just don't put all of your eggs in one basket is what I'm saying. Don't tell yourself, I will be happy or I will be successful or I will be productive when I give my vices up. That's you delaying taking action. It's you procrastinating. It's funny that the title of this podcast is me procrastinating. You're procrastinating when you say, I will give up porn first and then I'll be productive. Or I'm going to work on NoFap. I see so many of you say, NoFap is my goal. And I'm like, that's not a goal. What are you fucking talking about? That's what you're not going to do. You're not going to jerk off. What are you actually going to do? And you guys go like, oh, wait, what do you mean? What? No, but NoFap's my goal. And I'm like, bro, that's like me saying, my goal today is not staring into the sun. I'm not going to stare into the sun because I'll go blind. I'm also not going to go dance in traffic because I might die. And also, my other goal for this month is to not stab any grandmothers. Just make sure I don't stab grandmothers. And you're like, okay, bro, but while you're not doing those things, I understand you're not doing those things. Cool, great. Brilliant goal. Got it. What are you going to do with your time, though? And then I'm like, what do you mean? But my time is going to be spent not staring at the sun and not stabbing grandmothers and not dancing in traffic. That will keep me busy. It's like, no, that will keep you bored. You're not doing anything. And so I see that with a lot of you guys. You go, NoFap is my goal. And you spend all of your time trying not to do something, which is you wasting time and you spending all your time thinking about that thing. You may as well jerk off to porn. You're spending all your day thinking about not jerking off to porn. How is that productive? You may as well jerk off to porn. You're spending the same amount of hours not doing something as if you'd just done it. Probably spend more time not thinking about not doing it. So if you go nofap and say, that's my goal, you probably spend like 5 hours a day thinking about like, okay, don't jerk off, don't jerk off, don't jerk off. I don't want to jerk off. It's like if you jerked off, you probably just spend fucking 3 hours on it or an hour. That's less time. And so don't set your goal as like, I'm going to give up a vice. Yes, that is a goal, but then what are you going to do with the free time? You're doing that so you have extra free time. What are you going to use that time for? Not just like sitting around thinking about how you're not doing the thing. That's a waste of time. So yeah, I'll make that really clear. I think I'll wrap up here. See how this ended up being a 45-minute video? When I sat down here and said, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, and there's nothing to talk about. And I think we covered some pretty important topics. I think there's, I would hope there's some useful information here. And that's kind of the point. This is why I say to you guys, be accountable. Keep yourself accountable. In my coaching program, post every fucking day. Even if you have nothing to say, half the time you will sit down, you will say, I have nothing to say, and you'll think about it, and you'll go like, I have a shitload to say. Why did I think I had nothing to say? Look at me. Look at this, a 45-minute video when I had nothing to say. There's always something to say. I did a podcast a year or so ago, which was called I don't want to be here today. It was when I was doing a podcast every day. I set myself a challenge every day for a year, do a podcast. And the title was, I don't want to be here today. I literally sat down and said, guys, I don't want to be here today. And it ended up being this great fucking podcast that a lot of you guys loved because I just sat down and said, I'm going to do it anyway. I don't want to be here, but I'm going to do it anyway. I literally said, I have nothing to talk about, no plan. This podcast today, I had no plan. You can tell I'm winging this. I wing a lot of my podcasts, but this is especially winging. There's no notes on the screen. I had no idea what I was going to talk about. I didn't even know if I would talk for more than 5 minutes. It's ended up being probably 50 minutes by the time I finish in a second. So those of you who want to give up a vice or work on habits or any of that, please keep yourself accountable. It also applies just to general goals. Keep yourself accountable. Have an accountability partner or have a group. Hit me up for coaching. I'll leave a link in the description below. The guys in there are fucking amazing. They will keep you accountable. Reach out to some friends. My forums, as I said, just have people that keep you accountable. And if any of you are struggling with addictions or vices, I'm here for you. There's quite a few guys in my coaching program who are working on, honestly, at the moment, the thing most people are giving up is fucking smartphone addiction. Everyone in the group seems to be like, let's give this shit up. But the point is, if you're giving up vices, I'm here for you. The guys in the group are here for you. Please reach out to us. Please don't be embarrassed. I see that a lot where guys are like, man, I'm really embarrassed about my porn. It's like, if you join the coaching program, you'll see that half the guys in there are like, bro, we respect you for opening up about this shit. And half of us are working on this too. I don't know if you guys can hear the fucking loud shit that's going on outside my window. There's some sort of machinery. So I'll probably wrap up here. I will do a fucking video in 3 months from now. Wow, that is loud. And I'll do the 1 year update, the final video. Then I'll play some Half-Life Alyx. I'll have a good fucking time. Maybe I'll stream that. I don't think you guys would give a fuck about me streaming, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Anyway, go out there, crush your goals. Coaching is there. Crush those damn goals.